Well, one federal politician who's had experience of a hung parliament at a state level is Christine Milne, Deputy Leader of the Greens Party. She joins me now from Hobart. Senator Milne, thanks for joining us. How are the Greens going to play things in the Senate, where you'll have the balance of power next year, next July?
It's a fantastic result for the Greens right across the country, and yes, we'll be returning to Canberra with 9 senators, and we will behave very responsibly in the best interests of Australia, and we will be running a very progressive agenda, and one which has really been the only vision in this election, saying we need to be thinking about Australia in 2050. We need to be addressing climate change. We need a more compassionate country. We need a more inclusive and transparent parliament. All of these things have resonated with the Australian community and given us this record vote.
Are you worried, though, that legislation could be pushed through by either party before you get in for next July?
Well, of course, that is a concern, and one of the things that will be discussed, obviously, in forming government if one party doesn't achieve a majority, and I happen to agree with Ted Mack. I think people do get excited and we need to wait for the count. But in the event that occurs, then clearly how the next year works out will be something that will be discussed by Adam Bandt and the other independents in the lower house. I think everyone has to recognise that this is actually, instead of thinking of it in a negative way, this is a period that's pregnant with possibility. And the great thing about it is that it will put rural and regional Australia on the map as never before and give us a real opportunity to address resilience in the bush, the whole renewable energy revolution. So many great things can come from this period of government.
Looking more closely at Adam Bandt in the seat of Melbourne there, was he too quick to say he'd support Labor in the lower house?
No, I don't think so. I think Adam was being very upfront with the electorate. People in Melbourne needed to know that in the event that no one party won a majority, what the Greens would do in that circumstance. That, of course, doesn't mean that we won't be discussing with Labor the issues that are important to us, and that includes improving transparency in the Parliament, improving the committee system, better relationship between the two houses, clearer communication with the government and with the various ministers. And one of the things that didn't work well in the last period of Parliament was that Kevin Rudd, as Prime Minister, didn't talk to Bob Brown once in the 12 months before the time that he lost the Prime Ministership. In the case of climate change, it was very obvious that Penny Wong much preferred working with the coalition than with the Greens, even though we were the ones committed to climate change. So I think what we need here is much better relationships, and we're going to work on building those and delivering a very progressive period of government for Australia.
Christine Milne, thank you.
Thank you.